More British films have opened recently in the USA, and some of them are doing very well indeed. Most impressive among them being A Fish Called Wanda, which stars John Cleese and was directed by the 78-year-old veteran Charlie Crichton. The critics love it, and so do the punters. But as Tom Brooke now reports from New York, A Fish Called Wanda is not the only current British success stateside.
Everyone's wild about Wanda.
You said it.
That may be Hollywood hype, but there's no denying Americans do like A Fish Called Wanda.
I love the movie. It's a blast. Tell them how much you like it.
It was great. The lines were
Really
hysterical.
are.
It was fantastic.
I thought it was just hilarious. A lot of excellent humor and a good storyline as well.
The film is a caper comedy revolving around a bank robbery. It's also a love story. Whatever it is, in just 10 weeks at the American box office, it's taken in more than £20 million.
A Fish Called Wanda is not only popular, but it's the surprise success of the summer movies here in the United States. I mean, suddenly a little British movie with John Cleese, who has done other movies that haven't made any major fortunes. Kevin Kline, whose movie career has not made everybody jump in the air. Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, suddenly all these people come together in a small little British comedy, make tons of money and make lots of people laugh. It's doing extraordinarily well. People say it will make $50 million.
There are a number of reasons why the film has been so remarkably popular at the American box office. Much of the humor was created with an American audience in mind. And the film has been marketed very cleverly by a big Hollywood studio. But A Fish Called Wanda has been particularly appealing for Americans because of its star, John Cleese.
Hello?
Sir John is here.
Right, show him in, please.
I want you to make love with me.
Pardon?
Nothing.
In the film, he plays a barrister who falls in love with Wanda, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Many believe the romantic character John Cleese portrays has made him far more accessible to American audiences than previous screen incarnations.
Hi.
It's not the off-the-wall humor that American audiences are accustomed to seeing when they see Cleese play a character. He's kind of a tender person, and as he opens up, you see inside of him. And by the end of the movie, I've talked to women who say by the end of the movie, they think he's very attractive.
Attractive, perhaps, like the matinee idols of old. In fact, John Cleese's character in Wanda is called Archie Leach. That happens to be Cary Grant's original name. Does he think he'll now become the Cary Grant of the 1990s?
Oh, I should be so lucky. I mean, this is the nearest, this movie, that I'll ever get to being Cary Grant. And you see, I was born in this funny little seaside town, which is only about 20 miles from Bristol, where Cary Grant was born. And when I grew up, everyone was on about, you know, look how this local boy has made good in Hollywood. So I just thought, it's a little homage to Cary Grant.
John Cleese isn't the only British actor to have got big box office recognition in America recently.
I'm a short, fat, middle-aged man with a broken nose and a bald head, you know, but I ain't quite Cary Grant, like, you know.
Cary Grant he is not, but Bob Hoskins has become highly recognised by playing a private eye in the country's #1 film, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or you're just happy to see me?
Roger Rabbit is, yeah, you know, it's a dream. There were people who worked with Laurence Olivier and stuff like that. Well, I've worked with Bugs Bunny and Mickey and Daffy and Droopy. These are the big guys.
By playing against some of Hollywood's big cartoon characters, Bob Hoskins has gained not only fame, but widespread critical acclaim.
I think we may be surprised here in the United States come award time and Oscar time and see that Hoskins gets nominated as Best Actor for simply playing against nothing. I mean, for 2 years, the man went back and forth talking to himself or talking to walls while later the special effect animation was put in. And that's amazing because he really is into it. He looks like these are real things he's talking to.
On a smaller scale, other British actors continue to do well in America. Many of them stars of what one critic calls white flannel films.
You actually can count in some of these things the number of scenes where people show up wearing mostly white. Not necessarily flannel, but white pants, white trousers, straw boaters. It plays to a kind of snob appeal that the American audiences are much more susceptible to than probably British audiences are.
Who are the leading men of white flannel films?
At the moment, I would say they're Charles Dance and James Wilby. Jeremy Irons had a chance for a while, but he seems to have gone on to other things, as he's playing depraved twin gynecologists in his next project.
Ever since movie making began, British actors have done well in Hollywood. For many, transatlantic stardom was fairly predictable. There have been surprises along the way, but nothing can quite top John Cleese's new cinematic status in America.
And the idea of John Cleese as a sex symbol is a new idea, but it seems to work. He affects people as an attractive, warm-hearted character.
Well, this is true, but I just wanted to become a sex symbol before I died. So I worked out 3 times a week. I look all right. I won't tell you how I look now, but anyway, I look all right in the celluloid.
For all these British triumphs in America, particularly with Wanda, it is somewhat ironic that while it may translate into big dollars for Hollywood, it won't do much to boost the fortunes of the film industry in Britain.
No, it won't, because they were all made by American companies, which says something about the industry in this country,